Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are too strong for me. Before you take your seat, I want you to preach and pray with me over this particular thought. A love that listens. Look at somebody and say, there is a love that listens. You may take your seat and give God a praise for what he's about to tell you. Come on, give God a praise for what he's about to tell you. A love that listens. So as we continue in celebration of Black History Month, and as we are celebrating our inventors and those that were pivotal and have been pivotal in the Black community, it goes without saying that Black folks have had our fair share of being ignored. We've had our fair share of being overlooked. We had our fair share of being misunderstood. You heard exactly what I said. I wouldn't be at work on Friday. Don't call me talking about, well, I didn't know. You heard me. You just ignored me because you have a hard time with the fact that I'm good at what I do. Black folks have had our fair share of being rejected. Come on, say yes. If you can't say yes to nothing else, we've had our fair share of being wrongly accused by people in very powerful positions. And they're powerful, Lady Monica, not because God has a respect of a person. No. They're not powerful, Sister Jessica, but because God smiles on them a little bit different. They're powerful because there's more of them than it is of us in certain spaces. Come on, say yes. It's just more of them. We outnumbered in certain places where we go. We outnumber at our job. Come on, say yes. We outnumber where we live. It was our fault to move to the suburbs. You know, wasn't many of us out there. What you think was going to happen at the housing association meeting? You going to get ignored. You going to get overlooked, and they going to usually reject everything you got to say. We are ignored in our restaurants. You know you like Ruth Chris Steakhouse, but if you think you're going to always be treated fair, look at somebody and say, you need to wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. We are followed in shopping stores. Come on now, y'all know it. And so we outnumber in certain places where we like to go. So consequently, Sister Denise, we find out ain't nobody listening to us. Not always. They ain't listening to us. They're not always following us. They're not always considering us. And while we celebrating Valentine's Day, can I drop a little bug on some of the men that's going to be watching on the live stream? Your wife ain't listening to you either. They ain't listening to you at work, and their wife ain't listening to you at home. It's all right. It's all good. Look at someone and say, Happy Valentine's Day. Women, stop laughing. Y'all be ashamed of yourselves. Stop laughing. Stop laughing. But we have to understand that just because we are ignored and overlooked and accused of stuff we didn't do, listen, it's not time to resort to control tactics. Some of us resort to using control tactics to ensure that you don't ruin my future. I want to stay on this job. I want to keep living in this subdivision. I want to keep doing what I want to keep going to Ruth Chris Steakhouse. I still want to go over and do what I want to do. And so some of the control tactics we engage in is we complain. Give me the manager. Give me the manager. We complain. You know why? Because we want to keep doing what we're doing. Even though we know we outnumbered, listen, some of us get attitude. Some of us get a little attitude and we resort to violence. And some of the women in here, you quit on your marriage. You quit on your relationship. Some of the men walk out on their marriages, on their relationship. We quit job because we just simply trying to control the fact that you're not listening to me. But look at somebody and say, there is a love that listens. Oh, look at that. That's the wrong neighbor. Look at one other person and say, there's a love that listens. And when you realize that your control techniques and tactics won't make somebody accept you, you need to take on the words of Hubert Van Zeller. You see him up on the screen? Hubert Van Zeller. I love what he said. He said it this way: the soul hardly ever realizes it. But whenever you are a believer or not, your loneliness, this is going to bless you right here, is really a homesickness for God. You trying to get folks to accept you. You trying to get folks to listen to you. You trying to get folks to do what you need them to do, but it's just a homesickness for God. Look at somebody and say, there is a God that listens. Even though you don't listen to me at work, my wife don't listen to me, my kids don't listen to me, my mama don't listen to me, my daddy, but there is a love that listens. Come on, preacher, talk to me. I'm trying. So since people will sometimes ignore me, okay, y'all gonna leave me like that? Come on, say yes. Yes, they will. Tomorrow they're going to ignore you. They don't mean no harm. You just outnumber where you are. They're going to ignore you. So since sometimes you will be ignored, what does it cost for God to listen to me? You want God to listen to you. Come on. Yes, you do. You want God to know that it's strong in here. I'm outnumbered. I don't like being followed in the store. I don't like what I have to go through. What is it going to cost for God to listen to me? Number one, you got to get rid of this perfect picture. Come on, say perfect picture. You got to get rid of this perfect picture. You got to at least admit that I am in the place that I don't like being. You're smiling. You're jovial. You look like you ain't going through nothing. But sometimes you got to get along with God and tell God, listen, I'm smiling at work, but I'm going through. I'm smiling at work, but I just trained the person for the job that I should have had because I was overlooked. I'm going through, but you got to sometimes get rid of this perfect picture because there's no need to conceal how you feeling. Go on, tell God how you feeling. Tell God I'm hurt. Tell God I'm going through. Tell God I don't like it. Tell God where I am. Psalms 141, I love what David did in this prayer. He said, with my voice. Come on, y'all read it with me. I what? Cry out to the Lord. With my voice, I pled for mercy to the Lord. And so in our text, David is praying and complaining. Praying and complaining. You mean to tell me you can pray and complain? Look at somebody and say, yes, you can. You can pray and complain to God because he needs in this text, he needs protection from Saul, who's trying to kill him. And so David is on the run. David is on the run. He's a runner. He's a track star. David is on the run. And even though David, a king of all Israel, a warrior, he ain't got to run from nobody. He can send a word and have you killed. He's on the run from Saul because he's outnumbered. He feel like I can't resort to what I'm used to doing. I normally would kill Saul. And it wouldn't take very much of the need for us sometimes to kill some folks with our mouth. With our tongue. Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. But we got to stop doing what we've been doing. Because I'm coming out of some stuff in 2023. It's going to be better for me in 2023. But you got to resolve that I'm not going to do some stuff that I would normally like to do. So he had an opportunity to kill Saul. He didn't do it. He had an opportunity to get Saul. He didn't do it. He had an opportunity to get things right. I didn't do it. Instead, Lady Monica, he cries out to God for help. He cries out to God in his depressive cave. He cries out to God and says, I know I'm a warrior. I know I can order him killed. I know I can change the situation, but God, I need your help. And I want you to know on tomorrow, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, you need to understand I can't keep doing what I've been doing. Some of y'all have quit jobs already, too many of them this year, because you're mad. Because you know they're not going to listen to you. You know you ain't going to be done right. Happy Black History Month. You know it ain't going to happen right, but you need to cry out to God. Say, God, I need you. I dare you to throw your hands up right now and say, God, I need you on my job, with my family, with my children, with my grandchildren. Come on, say, God, it's too strong for me. I need your help. Come on, give God a praise because we know he's going to do it. Give God a praise right there. So in our text, David cries out to God for help from his cave of depression. And so David cried out with a voice, not silent. I'm going to just drop a pause for a cause right here. It's time out for silent Christianity. You need to open up your mouth and tell God all about it. I used to sing a song. Maybe y'all remember this song. Have a little talk with Jesus. You got to open up your mouth and tell him it's too strong in here. Too many haters in here. Too many folks don't want this for me. And so David cries with a loud voice, not silent within his spirit, but out loud and loudly. Because when I cry, God hears me. Woo, I'm telling haters all the time, you better be careful how you handle me, because when I cry, stuff start happening. Furniture start moving. Stuff start happening. Folks all of a sudden start dropping and dying. I'm telling somebody right now on my job right now, I'm telling them to be careful. I see you. You need to tell folks right now, I see you, but you may not do that. Look at somebody and say, because God listens when I pray. So when you cry out asking God for mercy, you have to let go of looking perfect. You got to let go of it, Sister Jessica. You're going to have to cry. You got to cry. Even though you're looking at a strong situation, you got to cry. I love that word you deposited with us, because it's going to get tight. I know we don't like to say that, because we blessed and highly favored in your phone. When I call you, how you doing this morning? I'm blessed and highly. Nobody asked you that. I said, how are you doing? Too blessed to be stressed. The devil is a liar. All of us going through something. We're going through something. But you got to let go. And I love what David did. He let go of looking perfect. Because I love the God that we serve, because he never get tired of hearing from me. I call God all the time. In my car, I'm calling God. Before I go to sleep, I'm calling God. Before I walk in my job, I'm calling God. Before I walk in the courtroom, I'm calling God, because I know he never gets tired of hearing from me. If you know that, come on, say yes. I love Philippians 4:6-7, because Paul says, open up your mouth. Come on, Philippians 4:6-7. It says it this way. Y'all know it. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer. Come on, y'all know it. And supplication with thanksgiving. This going to bless you right here. Let your request. That's going to bless you. Maybe that's just going to bless me. Let your request. Open up your mouth and let your request be made known to God. This going to bless you. Verse 7 says, and the peace of God, what passes all understanding. I love what Reverend Crawford said this morning, because he said sometimes folks be looking at you like, why are you smiling? Because the peace of God is all on me. Why are you smiling for? You didn't get that promotion. You train your next person, and you should have got that. But the peace of God, which what passes all understanding, shall keep you. If you want to be kept in tight times, let the peace of God keep your hearts and mind through what? Christ Jesus. So if you want to love that, listen, you got to make sure what it's going to cost you. It's a perfect picture. Say perfect picture. Number 2, it's going to cost you the place to hide. Some of us got hiding places. Some of us got places where we just go and run and hide. When it get too strong, when it's going too much, when it's too much, we got running places. We got places where we hide. But you got to let God into your situation. Look at somebody and say, let God in. And stop hiding. Let God in the situation, because chaos is constant. In your hiding place, chaos. In your bedroom, chaos. In your house, chaos. In your shopping mall, chaos. Listen, at family gathering, maybe it's just me. Y'all have family gathering. We be doing really good and they just go crazy. Chaos is always constant. So since it's always constant, look at somebody and say, let God in. Invite God in. He's a perfect gentleman. He ain't coming in. Let him. Let God in. Psalms 142. I'm almost done with this little Easter speech. Psalms 142:4 says it this way. Look to the right and see. This was David talking, a commander, a warrior who always had armor bearers around him. Sister Jessica, he always rolling 4 and 5 deep. He always got people he could command as a warrior. He always had soldiers around. But look what he said. Look to the right and see that there was nobody standing there who takes notice of me. No refuge, no place to run, nowhere to go. No refuge remains to me. Why? Because no one cares for my soul. And so what David is learning here, David learned in this situation why he's trying to run from Saul, because Saul trying to kill him. And I know I could kill David. I know I can kill David. I know I can kill some things. But David is trying to do something different. Anybody feel like you can do it different? Because I want you to know God is in the different. God is in the different. God is not in the usual. God is. Look at somebody and say, God is in the different. So David learned something. He learned that he had no refuge, no place to which he could escape. And this immediately, prior to hiding in the cave of Adullam, David made an unwise decision and fled to Gath in Philistia. In other words, David thought, I run to this cave, I'll be safe. And it wasn't safe there. So he ran to another cave at Philistia, and it still wasn't safe. He had not been there long enough, and he had been there long enough to realize he had danger everywhere he went. So therefore, come on, say therefore, since danger is everywhere, since chaos is everywhere, David says it this way: he had to face Saul's fierce soldiers alone. I can't go to work with you tomorrow. I can't go to your family gathering with you on tomorrow and scream and holler and rub oil on folks and cast out demons. I can't do that. Some demons you gonna have to, some tough places, some tight places you gonna have to go to alone. How many of y'all had to sit in the waiting room at your doctor's office alone? That is not a fun place to be. But you gotta know there's a love that's listening, and it's called God. God is listening. I dare you, wherever you got to go alone. It may be that the person you want to get their attention is already asleep and you're in a lone place, but you got to know God is listening. Come on, say God is listening. So David had to face Saul's soldiers alone, but he didn't do it without doing something. He cried out to God. So instead of sinking in depression, can I give you our assignment on today? Instead of sinking in your cave of depression, yet again, give God permission to enter into your situation. Give God permission to enter in. Ain't no harm, ain't nothing gonna come from you running. Ain't nothing gonna come from you hiding. Ain't nothing gonna come from you with this perfect picture. Give God permission to enter in your situation. Because 1 Peter 5 and 7 says it this way: casting, y'all know this one, all your cares. Woo, not some, all of them. All your cares upon him. Why? Because he cares for me. And you got to say, okay, you got to go in that situation and say to myself, God cares for me. God cares for me. God knows exactly where I am. I don't have to run. I don't have to give a perfect picture of faith. God cares for me. Come on, say, God cares for me. So what's going to cost for God to listen to me? Number one, I got to get rid of this perfect picture. Number two, place to hide. No more hiding places. Number three, and then we out of here, power struggle. Woo. Some of us gonna have to release some power. I'm gonna say it one more time because I know amen life. That's all I'm gonna get is an amen from the life. Some of y'all looking at me, what you talking about, Reverend? Some of y'all too strong for your good self. God can't come in your situation because you're too strong. I like saying it this way: you got a big mouth. You got to let go of some power. Some of us got a power struggle going on. Got a power struggle going because you want to be right. You ain't got to be right all the time. That's why you go get the manager at Walmart, because I'm right. Listen, sweetheart, you can get the manager all you want. They're going to take the little thing you wrote, and it's going to end up in file 13. Because there ain't nobody thinking about you, because you in the wrong side of town. They're going to tell you should have been somewhere else, shopping over here with all this money. Ain't nobody listening to you, but you steady fighting. Y'all smiling because y'all know I'm telling the truth. You steady fighting, because I'm going to be heard at Ruth Chris Steakhouse. You steady fighting. Just power struggle. But you must surrender this thought on how you going to win. I know you. I'm going to let that sink in. Just breathe. Because when you cross me, the first thing I'm trying to think about is how I'm going to win. If my neighbor get on my nerves, the first thing I'm thinking about is how I'm going to win. What congressperson can I call? What political figure do I know? What police officer do I have in my phone? Because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to win. But you got to let that go. You got to let that go. Because David said sometimes you can come into some situation where you just purely outnumbered. You just purely outnumbered. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You purely outnumbered until the African American community start taking on jobs where we are in certain spaces, in certain places, we are going to be outnumbered. So you can keep on with your little power struggle, but you got to surrender that thought. Come on, say surrender. That thought. How you going to win? In other words, what you got to do, I love what David said in Psalm 142:6. He said that this word, attend to my cry. Come on, David, come on. They ain't listening to me. Come on, David. Preach this little sermon. He said, attend to my cry, for I am brought, here it is, very low. How many of y'all been humiliated at work? You thought because you had a parking space, folks were listening to you, they humiliated you. You thought you was somebody. Y'all smiling because y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But David said, attend to my cry, God, because I've been brought very low. Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are what? Too strong. Too strong. This is a warrior. He killed Goliath. He can order you dead. What did he say? For they are what? Too strong for me. David realized real quickly that being a king and a warrior would not gain him the victory in this current situation. David well understood his present weakness. Even though he killed folk, he knew that God and God alone was the only one that could save him. So instead of using his control tactic, he prayed with humility. You got to say, God, this is too strong for me. Tomorrow, I don't know what you got to do on tomorrow. God, this is too strong for me. I'm trying to keep this little marriage together. God, this is too strong for me. I'm trying to keep this little situation. This is too strong for me. Come on, Brady, let's go and have some church. This is too strong for me. And James said in 4:10, as we get ready to get out of here, happy Valentine's Day. I'm thank you for letting me preach this little sermon on to you this morning. But you got to understand what James 4:10 says. It says, humble yourself. Look at somebody and say, get low, get low, get low. Humble yourself, what? In the sight of the Lord. And when you do that, you got to understand, he shall, God will, he will lift you up.
Yes, he will.
Even though you outnumbered, even though it don't look right, even though you ain't handling me right, God, he will lift you up.
Yes, he will.
I just want to encourage you on this morning. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Black History Month. But until you realize that there's a love that loves me, that listens to me, you're going to have some problems. Because you're going to be struggling with that little perfect picture. You're going to be running like a little track star. You're going to be power struggling. But you got to understand, God, he got my back.
Yes, he does.
And he will lift me up.
Yes, he will.
Yes, he will.
Yes, he will.
Psalms 142:7. I'm going to preach this little sermon and get out of here. Thank you, Third Baptist, for letting me preach this little sermon. But Psalms 142, it says it this way. God will deliver me if, bring me out of prison if, take me out of this situation if, that I may give thanks to your name. Look at somebody say, my deliverance is tied to giving thanks to God. My healing is tied to giving thanks to God. My breakthrough is tied to giving thanks to God. Being outnumbered and mad, I'm coming out. But it's time to giving thanks to God. So if you ain't too mean, give God praise. Say thank you, Lord, because you're bringing me out. Thank you, Lord, because you're helping me out. Thank you, Lord, because you're making a way out of no way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Lord. Yeah. So David says it this way, and I promise you I'm done. But David says it this way. He said, I'm going to bring you out. And he know God don't bring him out. How many of you know God don't bring you out? Look at somebody and say, it's going to get better.
Don't get better.
It's going to get better.
Don't get better.
It's got to get
It's
better.
got to get better.
It can't get no worse than this.
Can't get no worse.
It's going to get better.
It's gonna get better.
But I got to. I got to give praise to God.
Yeah.
And I love that David made a change.
Yes, Lord.
David
Yes, Lord.
saw breakthrough.
Yes, Lord.
David
David.
saw himself
Yeah.
in a better place.
Yes, Lord.
I see you in the future, and you look much better. You look much better than you do
Yes, Lord.
right now. Yeah.
Yes, Lord.
If you receive it,
Yes, Lord.
stand up on your feet. Stand up on your feet. If you receive it, and give God praise like David did. Give God praise. Yes. Give God praise. Hallelujah. Come on, come on.
Yeah.